I'm Zach Turner, and I'm with Single Hill Brewing in Yakima, Washington, and here is your craft beer and brewing tip of the week.
This farm has some other kilning technology that the other places, I believe, don't have. These kiln beds, if you look in the center, there's a little square cut out, and then right here there's this, basically just a temperature sensor. And it's this whole integrated system where they're measuring the pressure from the blowers underneath, the weight of the kiln bed on that center, the temperature of the hops from the probe, and then the computer's thinking about how hard to push air through it, and so that it pushes it as fast as possible without lifting it up and causing a volcano of hops. And then also managing the temperature of the kiln bed to heat it as quickly as possible, but not bring it over 130 degrees?
Yes, we dry at 130, so essentially when you fire up the burner right away, it actually kicks up to 150 degrees. So it's trying to raise the entire kiln bed temperature to 130 as quick as possible. As soon as it starts creeping up to that 130, that 150 will equalize to 130, and it'll just sit there at plus or minus 1 degree at 130 for the duration of the dry. Columbus will take about 8.5, 9 hours per kiln bed. Citra does also about 8 hours or so. After we get done with that, we lift the doors up just like on this kiln here. We'll hook up to the cloth to that gray dump tube on that side over there. Turn on that dump tube and it just slowly pulls this kiln cloth into that conveyor back to the baling room where they cool and condition. Having that technology creates very consistent bale moistures when we deliver them. Kind of used to see our 1.5 to 2 point swing kind of get crunched down to about a point swing, which is very nice, very consistent, knowing what we're going to get. But also minimizing that blowout. Once you blow out, have that big old nice hot volcano that everybody likes to see. It's actually not very nice for us. You lose that kiln bed integrity. You have to ramp down that fan really, really low. Extends the duration of the dry. Then can kind of overcook some of the stuff on the bottom. Really try to find that factor of the software to where you don't have that. As soon as you find that per variety, you're just kind of set in stone for that one. So keeping the bed as it looks right there is very important when drying hops. We also still check moistures by hand in the kiln beds. We've got those funny looking kiln shoes behind you guys there. Our guy who comes at night puts those on, acts like a snowshoe, walks on top as a probe, drops it in the kiln bed there, takes numerous readings of each bed, gets his overall average, and then he kind of knows, okay, I got half hour longer, or we're done, or this and that. So he's pretty good. He's been here for over 10 years, so he's pretty good at his job.
The kilns also reflect their kind of age and the modernity of the technology they're working with.
I mean, this was here since I was a kid, all this, since I was a little boy. The floors and the burners and all the technology still is brand new. We just put that in about 8 years ago. The building itself and the variable belt and these doors are still from the early 60s probably. So we're picking cashmere. We're laying it at 28 inches deep. Takes about 2.5 hours to fill a room and about 6 or 7 hours to dry it. Cashmere dries pretty fast. As you can see, we're picking it pretty clean.
Lowe's farm is the most traditional in terms of the equipment they have.
Once the stuff's dry, we'll go up to the kiln in a minute. They get dumped. There's a big long conveyor here. When it comes off the kiln, it's pulled off evenly and it falls in the conveyor. When it's falling into the conveyor, it's already mixing. So then it goes to the next conveyor, mixes a little bit more, and then it goes to the third conveyor, and that one layers it. So lay in a straight row. So kilns don't dry evenly, at least our kilns don't. Our kilns are very old, so they don't dry evenly. So you'll have dry spots and wet spots and perfect spots. And so the idea is you take an average reading of your kilns upstairs. We still do a lot of it by hand, but we do also have a handheld probe that we use upstairs just to kind of check ourselves. Once that's ready, they'll dump it on here and they'll dump it on the floor. And so the way it used to be done, the way my brother still does it, is once you dump it from up there here, you come and check here because it's different here than it was upstairs. So upstairs you might be like, oh, it's dry. And then you come down here and you touch it or you put a fork in it. We used to do a fork test where you take the fork and you put it in the pile. If it hit the bottom easily, then it was too dry. If it bounced back, it was too wet. If you struggle to get it in, but it would touch the floor, then it's where you want it to be at. So you have to take that number and figure out what you had upstairs and try to throw the next kiln to kind of even it out. So if you are, oh, I'm a little green here, I gotta throw drier. If I'm a little dry here, I gotta throw greener, and you just kind of layer it. So in the morning when the guys are baling, because they take full slices out of it, they'll get the dry stuff up top and the green stuff in the middle and the dry stuff on the bottom, and it all get blended into another conveyor that goes up top to a weigh box, and then it goes into your baler, and you get a nice big square 200 pounds worth of hops. My sisters, they're the ones that dry in the daytime. My brother dries at nighttime.
Well maintained, but no massive rebuilds, no tear downs. Just when things need to be fixed and updated, they're fixed and updated, but not taken down to the ground, built up as a new modern building. To learn more about our approach to fresh hop brewing, click the link below.